What'd you just say?
Record Review fans, welcome.
This is another celebration.
Spoiler alert, we're talking about hip hop again.
Yeah, we're back at it. And it's great because, since we've been in this space, I feel like it's been good energy. It's been good vibes.
Good vibes.
But what we need to do right in this space is we need to have a little calendar thing that says days without some whack shit. And it's like a list, days without an accident. And we keep it running until some whack shit happens.
Well, we've been listening to a lot of good music. Hip hop is in a good place. We've been going to some live shows. We've been engaging with some cool creatives. This week, we have been presented with Snofall. Would our calendar in this instance continue, or have we indeed stumbled on some whack?
Nah, the calendar continues.
The calendar continues.
Days without incident, weeks without incident, 2.
We're 2 weeks without incident.
Did the baby last week. That little baby was fire. Good. Sold 213K.
That's more than Kendrick.
Woo! Shout out to the little baby.
It's more than Kendrick.
And now we back at it. With Snofall, man. So yeah, definitely not whack. And definitely as a hip hop fan that is slowly aging into an old head, I'm always appreciative when the people that I came up with in hip hop are still putting out incredible content. Jeezy is a veteran of the game. Thug Motivation is one of the most celebrated mixtapes in hip hop of his era for sure. And for him to be able to drop something, the title speaks to the times we're in, into pop culture. The music is incredible and doesn't sound dated. Hats off to Jeezy, man.
Fun fact about the album cover of Thug Motivation with Jeezy standing in front of all the money, or behind the things of money. Jeezy the legend has it, he pulls up to the set and they had fake money in those boxes. He then calls his man, tells him to get that out of there and bring in actual $1 million in cash. And so the money that he is standing in front of is his $1 million in cash. Young Jeezy, 2005, 6.
And if you can take the energy that is embodied in that story right there and put it into music, you're going to have something the streets going to like a lot.
Yeah, Jeezy is definitely that luxury street rap for sure.
Yeah. And it was fire to be able to listen to that in a very grand way. When we're running it, this past Friday, you said something interesting. You were like, Drama's here. Mm-hmm. And it was surprising to you that we would still be listening to Drama shout over, rappers in 2022.
We might have a young audience that doesn't, know the DJ Drama, Gangsta Grills era. They might not know the Dad Piff era. They might not know the Jiggy Biggie mixtape era,
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. Why don't you take off your backpack, dude? Just okay.
Come on, man.
Get comfortable.
We've been loving this hip hop thing for a long time, So DJ Drama definitely had a huge presence within that 2003 to 2005 era. Being on many mixtapes. Almost your rite of passage was to drop mixtapes through DJ Drama. So mixtapes, I don't want to explain the difference between a mixtape and not a mixtape. But that being said,
I actually think we should do that because people keep acting like they can't tell. There's a big difference. We could have that conversation another time.
Watch out for the shaking.
But I digest. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, mixtapes back then were usually heavily sampled and also not official releases that were free for download. Now mixtapes, I think, are just a term that is a label term to not associate with an album.
Yeah, I don't care if you call something a mixtape or a playlist or whatever, but if it's available for free, if you're even like outside of streaming services, right? Like if it's free and I don't have to subscribe to Apple Music or Spotify to listen to it, that's a mixtape.
Fair enough. Well, Jeezy's always has some of the best mixtapes. Thug Motivation, like you had mentioned, was a street classic, as has been put. And we also have now Snowfall comes out, DJ Drama, many years later. From 2005 to 2022, we get DJ Drama, who seems to be everywhere. This has been some of my favorite Drama. Me and you used to joke back in the day how annoying Drama was, but I think now I think there's a bit of a maturity and styling towards it. And it sounds so fitting for this album. It's very cohesive to me. Some certain bangers, you know, something to ride to, something to bump loud at the crib. I really enjoyed this listen. I really enjoyed this album.
Yeah, it's very grand. You know what I mean? It's like from the opening track, the choice of production it's not subtle. It's the beats are interesting. We have a lot of conversations about cinematic hip hop. I think this is, I mean, in places it's that, but in other places it's just like it's Jeezy using the weight of an industry veteran really well. I have access to a certain level of caliber of beats and production and engineering and equipment, and I feels like he utilized all of that to bring the mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check.
How we doing, producer?
We bike.
We back. Look at that.
There we go. There we go.
Technical difficulties. Man. I think the content was hot and we burned the mic.
Yeah, we burned out the mic. Or the spirit of Gucci Mane was hating.
And shout out to my dog Shoni for texting me, man. I appreciate that, man.
Good look, man.
Appreciate that. Good look. Listen, a lot of good music over here. I like street hip hop. I love street hip hop. I love luxury gangster rap in specific. That might be my favorite genre of hip hop, you know? So listening to this, I think it fits. That MJ Jeezy is dope.
Crazy.
That ESTG with Jeezy, I think are some highlights if I'm going specifically name by name. Like I said, the intro, Snowfall, very reminiscent of Young Dolph's 100 Shots with the delayed drop at the end. Mm-hmm. You know, he waits 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes before the drop comes in, which is something Young Dolph did, which I thought was an interesting way to pay homage to that. And then you have MJ Jeezy, Street Cred, Most Hated, Scarface, King's Crown. Those are my favorites off the album.
Let me get that track list off your boy.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at that right quick.
Can I ask our producer if has the producer checked out the album?
I'm a big while we wait for the response on that, I'm a big fan of Bruh. That Most Hated goes crazy. That MJ Jeezy is dope. Scarface is dope. My Accountant, King's Crown. Yeah, man. I messed with this heavy. I'm down to give this a 4 out of 5. It's good to have another week of saying that.
And it just cut.
What? All about threes. I'm still live over here, baby.
Nice.
I'm still coasting. So you know what?
Wrap it.
I think we're gonna get up on out of here.
We're gonna get up out of here before technology.
The powers that be, we done said too much about birds. They chewing on the wires.
Listen, birds might not be real. Liz Trust also is not real. Educate yourself, protect yourself. Because we know, man.
Yeah, we know, man. We know that you could be anywhere in the world, but you choose to be here with us, rocking with us through all that we go through.
Thank you.
In the world and in this studio.
Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all are real.
Thank you.
Right? And this is a real celebration of celebrating.
Thank you.
This is a real celebration of life. This is a real celebration of how good it is to be real. Don't feel good way.
Feels good.
Just checking. All right.
I also might be a CIA bird agent. You never know. Yo. Check on your local birds, man.
We gone.
Yeah, I get that. But is we live though? Is we